2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yes! 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 Hey, what's up, chat? It's your boy here, finally, with my shiny starter video. Now, I just want to cover a couple of things here in the intro before I hop in to how I do this particular RNG. Firstly, I just want to say thanks to all of you for all the support on all of my channels. FireRed and LeafGreen RNG Manip has been so much fun to stream and make content for, and a ton of new people are getting into RNG for the first time. I'm going to say the same thing I said in my first tutorial video. I highly recommend skipping the shiny starter and learning the basics of RNG, and then coming back here on a new file. This is not easy. The shiny starter Mind Parasite has such a hold on some of you. You are allowed to make multiple switch files and do as many playthroughs as you want. Do some RNG without a shiny starter and come back, for God's sake. Secondly, a lot of people ask, why would you want to get the secret ID in such a grueling and grinding way when you can just use a glitch to read your secret ID and begin RNG manips? Well, to this, I usually respond with something along the lines of, it's just very satisfying. It gives a similar feeling to defeating a boss in a video game. When you first start doing RNG manips and get the hang of it, you will continuously want to challenge yourself and accomplish harder tasks. This is when I think you should go for the shiny starter and secret ID from a fresh game file. My final point, before I jump in and show you how I do things, is a question viewers have for anyone they are watching. Why should I trust this person? What weight does this person's opinion have on this topic or subject? And to this I say that I was the world first person to RNG all 3 shiny starters and discover my secret ID without glitches on the Switch, without the 10 lines program or the seedless bot. I live streamed the entire processes from start to finish, and I showcased all of the suffering and all of the grinding that went into it. I will not omit those parts of the process. I will not tell you this is easy or fast, and even for experienced people, it can take a while. I have videos on RNG manips from 6 to 7 years ago. I have a shiny starter tutorial for the GBA versions of FireRed LeafGreen, and I hope to gain your trust in learning this difficult process with some of these credentials. The most important part of this RNG manipulation is the intro of the game, with the creation of the game file. I'm going to implore here and strongly suggest to you that you give up on the notion of being able to name your rival. For my intro timer, I use a 901 advanced timer. I use 500 for overworld frames, and 574 in my third timer known as the lab timer. In my opinion and observation over the years, the longer you have to wait for beeps, the more error prone you are. You need to really interact with and start to learn how to really feel the beeps. This is why when I teach RNG to new people, we go for early targets. You simply need to practice with the beeps. And as for the intro situation, you're going to need to pick a default name and get over it. I'm sorry that you can't name your rival after your brother or your friend or your dog or some other random thing. My goal is to get you out of the lab and relieve you of the massive, blood-sucking, shiny starter mental parasite that has been sapping away the life force of gamers since this game came out. If you have 2 switches, you have the capability to run the tests that I did on my stream. Run multiple intro timer tests. Trade yourself the game files Pokemon and check the SID with glitches. I did a lot of tests to see where I typically trended on landing with the secret ID. If you don't have 2 switches or the capability to check SIDs after intro tests, you need to go and learn RNG on other targets before the starter. You just have to do it. You need to leave the lab and go learn RNG and then come back. I'm going to show you what an intro run looks like, and I'm going to show you my test results. But the gist of this process is that after you create a game file with a timer, you can use process of elimination on potential secret IDs. This essentially means you are going to have to RNG manipulate for potentially multiple non-shiny targets. Now I'm going to show you my intro and how I do things, show you my test results, and then you can get going on your own. All right, so I got my timer on the screen and I'm going to show you my options. You need text speed fast, you need mono help for sound and button mode, and then you save. And this carries on into creating a new file. And I'm going to show you the intro. I'll show you the frames of potential SIDs that you're going to hit and test. So I'm going to quit out here. I'm going to reload my second profile here. And we're going to new game. Now, the RNG of this will begin after you confirm whatever you choose to be your name. So I'm going to type in a name and wait. I'm not going to press start. We're going to wait. This is where you get yourself ready. You type in your name and you get yourself ready. Are you a boy or a girl? Am I a pretty girl? My name does not matter. I'm literally making it A. Now, this is where the RNG process begins. Now, you notice on my Eon timer, what I also have is a pre-timer. This is the only time that I use a pre-timer. The pre-timer to 5,000 is a 5-second countdown so that you can have beeps to start and begin. So, 5-second pre-timer. I'm going to press A on the 6th beep. I have a 901 target frame. I'm on the GBA Gen 3 tab. Nothing has changed. Target frame 901. Pre-timer. Press A. Now, you're going to give the rival a default name. Just fucking pick one. It does not matter. Okay? Get to the second to last text box, where he says your very own Pokemon dream is about to unfold, and wait. Here we go. Here is an example. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get through this. What was his name? Green. Don't care. Your very own legend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, my potential secret IDs have been locked in. Now we're going to look at our trainer ID, and we're going to take a look at PokeFinder, and we're going to take some notes. All right, so now we're going to open up PokeFinder. We're going to head over to IDs. You're going to make sure you're on the FRLGE. You're going to type in the trainer ID that we got. I got 16376. 16376. Initial advances. You're going to set this to 2290, and max advances, you're going to set this to 2310. Because that's where we're going to exist when it comes to trainer ID and secret ID. Now, for my testing that I did all on stream and that I have tons and tons of results for, I land on advanced 2303 a lot. So in this case, one of my potential secret IDs to test would be 46124. Now, all you do is take this secret ID and pretend that it's your secret ID, even though you're running a test. Apply this as your secret ID to my other tutorial that I have that shows you how to RNG manipulate static Pokemon for beginners. I have test results that have showed me I land on 2303 the most. I land on 2305 sometimes. I land on 2301 a decent amount of times. So a couple of my shiny starters were actually on 2301. I have a couple on 2303, and I have one on 2305. I didn't try RNGing a shiny starter until I ran multiple intro tests, traded myself a Pokemon, literally looked at where my secret ID was, and saw that I hit 2303 a bunch of times in a row. 2305 a couple of times. 2301 a couple of times. I even hit 2299 a couple of times in a row. Through all of my runs, I never had to check more than 3. And that's because we're doing this in a tight time. You're not going to be super early, super late. And once again, if you have never done RNG before, you should not be starting with this. You should actually confirm your secret ID on your game file with a glitch, RNG a shiny Eevee or something from the game corner like I do in my other video, and then come back. You need a grasp on RNG before you start shooting in the dark on things, because when you choose one of these and it's not actually your secret ID, you're going to put a lot of time into getting a target that is not shiny to confirm that it's not your secret ID. You put the secret ID into 10 lines just like it was your secret ID. You find a target. Once you have confirmed it and you get it on your screen, the stats line up and the guy is not shiny. That's how you know it's not your secret ID, and you move on. When you're doing it with the default name instead of a custom name, you only check the odd numbers. 2303, 2305, 2301, 2299. Like I said, I'm experienced, so I was able to get them. But like I keep emphasizing, you really need to just learn RNG elsewhere before you try this. That is my personal opinion. I want people to start having fun. The people that have been in the lab since this game came out, you guys need help. Please, I implore you to leave the lab, learn RNG, and then come back. The first time that you play the game is not the finite personal playthrough or whatever. You need to have your main save, whatever it is. People are obsessed with having your first and basically your only playthrough on your Nintendo Switch since this game came out to have a shiny starter. Do some runs without a shiny starter and come back and get the shiny starter. Now, just to refresh your memory on some important things, 500 overworld frames in the 10 lines program. 574 as the third timer on Ian Timer. Take the potential secret IDs like I showed you. Apply that to my other guide, which will show you how to do the actual RNG. This video here is to show you my different approach to the intro. After the intro, the starter is just a regular old static RNG. And I have seen so many people find success with static RNG thanks to the tutorial that I have on my YouTube. So take the potential secret IDs that you discover with my process here, put them in a little list, and start RNGing if you really want to try for a shiny starter. If you can accomplish something like a shiny Eevee or a game corner Pokemon, you can achieve a shiny starter too. I really wish the best of luck to you all. Feel free to join my Discord or join the streams if you have questions. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I hope you get your shiny goals accomplished soon. Thank you guys very much.